Hey warriors, I hope you're all doing well. So, Jan'25 results came in recently, right? 4th March. I've heard so many people coming out to me and telling me that they've cleared the exams, got some good marks. Yes, direct tax and indirect tax paper was hard, but they scored a minimum 40, 45, no matter what it is. Beautiful marks in costing, beautiful marks in FM, beautiful results came out this time, people. Such a good percentage from ICA, and I'm extremely happy for everyone who's cleared this time. Yes, a pat on the back for surviving this one full year of delay before you wrote your previous exam, people. Yes, definitely was a big task and achievement for you. So if you've cleared your exams, a very good job. Yes, but yes, as much as you have seen success, you also have seen failures. I would not deny the fact that as much as I have so many people who have cleared the exams with some great scores, there is also a handful of students who have not cleared this exams for unfortunate reasons. It can be for various reasons. I don't want to get into it. Yes, and therefore, while I'm extremely happy for all my students who've cleared, I also want to take the responsibility of all the students who unfortunately could not make it but are planning to continue this journey and take on the next challenge. As you know, from Jan'25, we're moving on to May 2025. It's going to be a very short time span which you have, people, before you have to write your next exams. Yes, we are already in March, and therefore March and April is the only 2 months which you have before you can write your May exams. The time frame is less, but it's also a good opportunity for you to start realizing that yes, you get an attempt faster. This is an opportunity for you to recorrect your mistakes and start from the top. Yes, so that is what we're going to be doing and discussing in today's class, people. Today's session is more for all my friends who have unfortunately not cleared Jan 2025 but are hopeful to get through May 2025. Let me help you with some things which you need to understand first of all as to how you should be proceeding for your exams. First, stop whining about what has happened in the past, people. I know it's difficult times. I know you are getting through it. It was not an easy task, but yes, let's also be mindful about the fact that we have certain mistakes we have made. There are certain things we needed to do better, and no worries. It's always a learning stage, and therefore, that is the kind of spirit you need to carry with yourself. Maybe the recovery time would be a little lesser for you because of the coming attempt, but the faster you learn the process, the better it is for you and for everyone else also, people. Yes, let's not whine about what has happened, and let's take this initiative to start looking at what is happening in the future. Step number one. Step number two, people, stop questioning yourself. The one thing which I've realized in most of the students, which unfortunately happens, is that the moment you face a failure, you start questioning your abilities. You start asking yourself whether you are really deserving to be doing this course, whether you have been preparing yourself properly, whether what you have done earlier is right or not. Yes, that is not the way to proceed, people, first of all, because you have put in your efforts. There were some unfortunate reasons because of which you could not clear, but that does not take away the fact that you were deserving to do it, right? And so please stop questioning your abilities on this and don't start judging yourself that you have to restart. Let's be mindful about the fact, people, that you only have 2 months right now, and therefore with just 2 months in your hand, you will not be in a position to restart your syllabus and start over once again. Yes, going through the whole subject which took you 1 year to complete, if you plan to do it in a matter of 2 months, it will definitely not be possible. Right now is the time for you to stop and first ask yourself as to what are those things or what are those topics which you could not do better in your previous attempt, right? Focus on those topics. 2 months in your hand. Probably the first month is for you to enhance what you have been doing, what you have not done earlier. And the last month is for you to revise what is pending of it, right? That is the best way you can approach this May exam, people, because unfortunately, if you plan to do everything once again, it may delay your process further and you may have to jump to another attempt of September, which you and I both don't want to do, right? So please do not do that. Please do not go into the model where you want to start doing the subject once again. It will not take any appreciation from that. Yes, let's be very candid about the fact that, people, for any subject for that matter, let's take direct tax itself for that instance. You know, for instance, that your clubbing, set off and all would have been the easier chapters which you would have already been aware about, right? Chapters like these which you're already comfortable with. If you sit back and you take the question bank and you start solving all the questions once again, you're not going to be putting any extra value addition to this. You were already deserving the 4 marks in Jan exam itself. The same 4 marks is going to be fetched to you in the May exam as well. There is no extra addition which is happening in this whole topic, and therefore it will not help you in any model, right? On the contrary, if you tell me that in the month of Jan, I probably did not spend more time in PGBP, because that's your compulsory 15-mark question, or I did not spend time in chapters like capital gains, which is a 6-mark question, then here is an opportunity for you to take the next 1 month and look at those chapters and enhance those learnings, because what you already scored in Jan, you just need to add a bit extra points to that so that you get the May exam, right? So that's the whole understanding which you need to have before you go forward, people. And therefore, please stop doing things once again and start focusing on things which you did not do. That is one small request which we'll have from my side, people. Yes, on those lines is what today's topic is. For those who understand this carefully, as you're moving from Jan 25 to May 25, especially for a subject like direct tax, the syllabus has changed. When I say syllabus has changed, it's not a significant change, but definitely, people, the Finance Act has modified itself. Before in Jan 25, you would have written something called Finance Act number 2023. But whereas now you're coming to May 25, you're writing Finance Act number 24, right? And therefore, there are some hefty amount of amendments which you need to go through. I am telling you that, right? And therefore, first of all, before you proceed forward, let's first understand what exactly is lacking from your Jan attempt to your May attempt. For the sake of everyone's understanding, people, I've put in a small chart which will explain these things better to you. If you have written your Jan 25 and unfortunately not clear, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what is the issue here? Am I losing conceptual clarity on the subject? Have I just tried to read the subject as it is and just go forward in the exams? Because that could be one of the predominant reasons why you could not get through it, right? A subject like taxes and all definitely requires a bit of a conceptual clarity, because at no appropriate stages can you confirm yourself that the same question from question bank will be picked up for your exams. There would be a bit of an adjustment modifications which ICAI will do, and therefore unless there is a conceptual clarity, that will not trigger properly, right? And so therefore the first thing you need to do is ask yourself, do I lack conceptual clarity on the subject? If the answer to that comes out as yes, maybe I'm not really sure, people, but maybe it is not a good opportunity for you to do the same thing once again. Maybe this is the time for you to look back to yourself. The first recommendation I would do is, at this appropriate stage, please don't go into marathons, fast tracks, no matter what they call it in different regimes. Go into a full course schedule. Yes, a subject like direct tax needs to be read in depth, and therefore you need to get that good understanding of the subject before you proceed forward. And therefore, if there is no conceptual clarity on the subject, people, please opt for a regular classes. Whether it is with me or whether it is someone else, it doesn't matter, but please opt for a regular classes. If you choose to opt regular classes from me, yes, three things can be assured in the regular classes. A detailed class of 125 hours will be shared across with you. Yes, a 125 hours solid will be spent on this subject of direct tax, because that is the kind of volume we are talking about, but at the same time that is the kind of conceptual clarity which is required on the subject. So 125 hours approximately is what will be required to complete your full courses from my side. A complete conceptual clarity from my side will be given to you, and that's my promise. You are free to go back and check the demo classes of the previous people. You will understand what I'm talking about. Yes, for me, the subject of direct tax is not about reading the provision and telling you this is what the answer is. For me, the subject of direct tax is all about coming and asking a couple of questions. First, why is this provision there? Second, what is the history of this provision? Third, why did it get introduced in the first place? Fourth, is there any issue with the introduction of this provision? And five, do you see a way out of this provision? These are the kind of solid questions which we'll be answering in the classes, and this all will be done with the most fun way of learning of it, right? That is the kind of promise I can give you from my perspective when it comes to your full course, when it comes to direct taxes. So conceptual clarity will be provided on this subject, so that you, when you go to the exam itself, know strategies on how to prepare for the exam properly. Last and not the least, because we're talking about an amended lecture, people, I don't want to cheat you with anything. We will give you the latest recording, and when I say latest, I really mean latest. The classes were actually completed last week. Last week is when we have recorded the whole lectures, and last week is what the whole final upload has happened. So last week's latest recordings will be given to you, which will apply for 3 attempts: May 25, September 25, and Jan 26. So 3 attempt people can opt for these classes, and you will get the concept clarity you require for. Where can you opt for the classes, people? You can opt it at 2 places. If you're looking for an online platform, you can opt it at CA Classroom. The CA Classroom will have the classes available. You can go and purchase it there. Or if you're opting for offline class, or if you probably know this better, where I take my physical classes, you can come to Prof Excellency Academy. And in Prof Excellency Academy, we can either engage you for the upcoming batches, or I can give you the recordings from Prof Excellency as well. Regardless of it, the answer remains the same. The lectures are not going to change at any point of time, people. The concept remains the same, and therefore, no matter where you purchase it from, the answer will still remain the same. I don't have a problem on that. Yes. Coming to those people who have seen classes with me in the past, or has probably learned it from someone else and have a good conceptual clarity. Whatever was the syllabus of Jan 25 has been properly read through. You know the subject properly, but unfortunately, either because the tax paper was tough, or because you could not clear the other papers, tax also took a hit. Here is the 2 options for you. Option number 1, Rahul, I'm perfectly clear on the subject. I know the subject very well. I don't need any further support other than knowing what the changes are. If that is what you are, great job. This itself is a sign that you're ready for May 25, and therefore, please continue this doing yourself. From my side, what support am I going to provide you, people? For all the syllabus which you had in Jan 25 and the changes which are there in May 25, I will give you something called as a as an amendment class. Yes, we just recently shot the amendment class, and therefore it should be available tomorrow for you to watch it on YouTube. A solid 3 hours of amendment class has been recorded for all of you. Now, you may have seen other faculties' videos on YouTube and all people where amendment class would have been done in 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I don't deny it. I don't deny it. Yes, those would only be the amendments people. But this time I've taken some additional efforts. I had students sitting next to me, and on a physical model, I've taken class of the amendments for solid 3 hours people, where the amendments are not just discussed, amendments are solved. For every amendment which was there, we have put out charts, we have put out understandings, we have put out illustrations so that you can mark those illustrations, you can note down those changes and therefore read it from an exam properly. That has been done for you. That has been done for you, and therefore this amendment look a little bit more detailed than other faculties, but trust me, one of the best lectures I've ever taken for amendments, and I can assure you that after the amendment class you will have no doubts on the syllabus. Yes, that is the first thing you need to look into if you're moving from Jan 25 to May 25. Second thing, people, because we are moving to an amendment thing, whoever has been watching my marathons of the past, you would know that I always record a marathon where I complete the whole syllabus in a matter of 7 to 8 hours. Yes, we are continuing with the same practice, people. Please do not opt for the marathon of the previous. Look and wait for the marathons which are upcoming. Yes, we are planning to record the marathons between the period 18 to 22, and therefore between the period 18 to 22 the whole marathons will get recorded, and then the marathons will be uploaded on YouTube for free of charges. Yes, when this marathon will help you understand the whole syllabus so beautifully well and revise this whole syllabus in the best way possible, so that before your exams you can just put on your earphones and match your understanding with my marathons. That is how marathons have been running, people. People have enjoyed the marathons to the best extent possible, and that is what will be shared across with you. Yes, so 2 things will be done from your side. But the third thing which I personally feel and I would request you all to do is to get new books. Now, yes, some people may come and feel, Rahul, what is the point of getting new books? You're anyway telling me amendments, no? So I will take the amendments, I'll incorporate it in the previous book and I'll read it from there. People, not a bad strategy, but it is challenging. It is challenging. Let's be appreciative of the fact, people, that in Jan 25 also you had amendments, right? And therefore, when you would have been going through classes, you would have done a detailed listing of all the topics. You would have done some illustrations and all. You would have put in a lot of scribbling into the book. From that, if you're going to add in additional May 25 things, it may become extremely confusing for you, especially for chapters like capital gains, for IFOS and all, where provisions have been deleted off. Yes, those kind of things, to do it in the same book may have a trouble. You may not enjoy it as much, and it will only confuse you more than what it is already. Yes, so one small recommendation from my side, people, buy a new book of May 25, September 25 and Jan 26. If you want, you can purchase it from me, a beautiful concept guide which we have already spoken about in the past, or if you have another faculty which you're more comfortable with, go forward with that. I have absolutely no challenges, but my concept guide, 182 pages and odd numbers, 182 pages, you'll be able to complete the whole direct tax concept guides from my side. Apart from that, people, I think we have already discussed about it. We already have a beautiful set of editions which we call as Taxation 101 Rankers Edition. Yes, the whole Taxation 101 Rankers Edition is available for you to avail, people, where just by buying the concept guide, you will be given access to the question bank and the cheat sheet also for you to use. Yes, so you can avail that as a benefit also, people. If you feel like doing that, again, you can avail this purchase either directly reaching out to me in the CA classroom, in Amazon website, you name it, everything is there. Yes, you can find it any places, people. But yes, a small recommendation from my side, please do opt for a new book, at least for the subject of direct taxes. Yes, I don't want to comment on other subjects, people. Maybe other faculties will have a better understanding of this. Your favorite faculties of other subjects should be able to give you a better answer on how to go for their subjects. But last I checked, people told me that you don't have much amendments in other subjects, so you can continue with the previous books as well. But for direct tax alone, people, a small request from my side, please do opt for a new book. You will need it. You will need it. Now comes the part where you are a student who knows the subject. You fairly have an idea of the subject, but unfortunately did not practice enough, could not practice enough, or you feel like you need a little bit more attention to the subject so that you can do better. You can do better. For those people, Karthik Manikonda from CA Classroom has done a very beautiful initiative, and I'm happy to be a part of that initiative, people. We have launched something called as WOW classes. We have launched something called as WOW classes, which will be run at a place called as A&M, I'm going to show you the poster in a minute, but yes, let me talk about this WOW classes, people. The intention is very simple. Rather than spending time with you on doing this whole fast track thing where I give you concept clarity and then do sums, I wanted to pay attention more this time to practice. Yes, because I can trust that all those students who are writing Jan'25 already, have concept clarity, people. Just that maybe a bit of a practice in this thing. Or what is happening is, you know the subject, but at the same time you're not able to trigger the subject to the sense which is required. You may read a provision which you understand, but you're not able to understand the practicality of the provision, because of which when you write it in an exam, you write it wrong. You may think that you've written everything in the syllabus, but unfortunately you trigger it wrong, and that's what goes wrong. That is what we're trying to answer in this subscription called as wow subscription. What is this wow subscription, people? Let's talk about it. Yes, this is what the wow subscription looks like. The schedule is on the screen for you people to go through. Yes, what we will be doing, and at least specifically for direct tax people, on the period of 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22, so 5 days for you people, 5 days from 7 to 1, with a sufficient amount of breaks given in the middle. Between 7 to 1 for 5 days, what we'll be doing is, we'll be doing two things. One is what we call as a marathon, which is what I was just discussing with you, plus questions. That is what we're going to be doing, people. So here I will pay less attention to concept building on a provision level, but pay more attention to concept building through practice questions. Yes, that is what we're planning for our subscription, people. Here what would happen is, when we start the class, a topic will be taken, and quickly, in a matter of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, probably 1 hour if it's a lengthier chapter, we will quickly just brush up what the provisions are. Yes, so that this marathon is the same marathon which I'll upload you for you to watch later. Once that is done, people, and you are comfortable with what we're talking about, we will then solve a hefty amount of questions relating to that chapter. Yes, what I have been doing right now, and this is a work in progress which will be done before the classes start, is that the whole question bank which I have, I'm trying to consolidate the whole question bank and make it into a single question. For example, if you go into the chapter of PGBP, you would have seen that the question bank would have easy amount of 10 to 15 compulsory questions which you need to go through one by one. Yes, now for those who would have gone through the classes would realize that the 15 questions which are there actually have the same adjustments repeating multiple times, right? But it is given to you for more practice initiatives. This is what I'm trying to avoid, people. Considering the time efforts which we have, if you notice 5 days I have from 7 to 1, I don't have much of a time, and you also don't have much of a time before May 25 comes. What I'll be doing is, I'll be taking these 5 questions, taking all the adjustments in the 5 questions, consolidating them into probably 2 questions, right? Which means you're getting the same feel of what you're doing in a regular course, but at the same time we are restricting it and making it into a smaller question so that you are able to practice it faster with me. Yes, so what we'll be doing is, I'll be consolidating the whole question bank, putting them into smaller questions, and therefore probably where you would have solved 500 plus questions with me in the regular class, this time you'll solve a handful of maybe 50 to 100 questions with me. Yes, in this 50 to 100 questions, people, 2 things will be achieved. One, as we keep solving the question, I'll also build concepts on this. Which means as we keep solving the question itself, people, I will keep the concept which we talked about in the marathon and refer to those. At the same time, I'll also tell you how to approach this question in exams. Yes, which means sometimes what happens, no, people, is that when you look at a PGP adjustment, for example, you look at an adjustment which says a salary paid to brother is found unreasonable to the extent of 2,000 rupees. Yes, this is a small adjustment which is happening to you. Now, there are multiple components in this. While you may be focusing on salaries and you may be focusing on the word cash, probably the unreasonability is what you need to look at for section 48(2). Yes, so therefore what will happen is, when we look at the adjustment, people, I will trigger that adjustment and ask you to start marking a few places which you should be paying attention to. At the same time, we'll be looking into this and then trying to figure out next time when I see this question, what and all should be the points that I should be paying attention to and what are my tick boxes. Third thing, people, for all questions, I'll be trying to prepare a template format for you. Yes, for example, when a question comes on how to compute taxes, we'll do some certain steps, and if we follow these steps religiously, people, you'll get the answer. For example, step number 1 comes and tells you that you have to take your total income. Step number 2 comes and tells you to check whether there is surcharge or cess in that. Step number 3 comes and tells you whether you should do margin relief, margin rebate, so on and so forth. The point is, people, will try to create a template format so that for every chapter, if you look at the template format, if you note the template format, you will technically complete the syllabus itself, right? That is what is planned for action in this, people. So therefore, marathon plus question bank, imagine already you have concept clarity. I enhance the concept clarity with a bit of a revision, and then I give you more better understanding with practice batch. Imagine the kind of confidence you're going to have in the subject. Right now, for putting all these efforts, a small investment is required from your side, which is 999 rupees. if you think about this carefully, people, 5 days of classes, 6 hours of coaching, 6 hours of coaching definitely is not something which can be done in as cheap price as 1,000 rupees. We are actually keeping it the bare minimum because, like I said in the first of the class, it is our responsibility as well that you could not clear through. And therefore, we want to take ownership of this. We want to take ownership of this. This 1,000 rupees also, people, is not for us. It's for the rent which we are going to pay for the premises in order to use the premises for your benefits. Yes. So therefore, this is absolutely a no profit, no gain system here. The logic is going to be very simple, that we are just going to take this premises and we're going to use this premises to engage you better and do it. We could have given it to you in an online model as well, people, but the more you interact with us face to face, the more comfort you get, the more comfort we feel. That is what the whole understanding is, people. So yes, if you are in that position where you know the subject, you just need a bit of an understanding on a practice level and how to approach the questions, please to join us in A&M classes between the period 18 to 22 for direct access. The other classes are also showing on the screen, people, so you can take a screenshot and you can reach out appropriately. How do you do that? You simply have to go and register yourself in the CA classroom, informing that you have to opt for these classes, All students who are coming for these classes, do bear in mind that you'll also be given a recorded version of these classes in case you're not planning to go for May, but you're planning to go for future attempts. Yes, if you're not planning to go for May also, people, you're planning to go for September, no worries. If the subject is done by you, you can come forward and sit in the classes, and the recording of this will be available for the next 4 months as well in case you want to go for September classes. Absolutely no problem at all. Please to bear in mind, people, that whatever is getting recorded, two elements being the marathon and the question bank, the marathon will anyway be part of the YouTube channel as free of charge. What is getting restricted here is the question bank. So this alone is getting restricted, which means in essence, people, you're technically paying this 1,000 rupees only for getting the access to the question practice. Yes, which I think decently is a very, very minimal investment as compared to anyone else in the market right now, right? And therefore, this is the bare minimum which we would expect out of you. In this, the only word of caution which I'm going to give you, people, is that what this will entail is only PDF copies of things. Yes, which means I will give you the PDF copy of the concept guide. At the same time, I'll also give you the PDF copy of the solutions, which we are going to be discussing, right? Solutions would not be hefty, people. You're going to only have questions in that, so that you can easily print out and you can bring it for yourself. That should not be a challenge at all. But on the concept guide, people, since the PDF version is being given to you, you would still probably be required to buy the question bank yourself, probably be required to buy the concept guide yourself. Unless and until you tell me that you're comfortable with the concept guide, I'm perfectly fine. Intention is absolutely not to come and exploit you for any reasons, people. The point is, if you're going to have a PDF copy, then for your exams you'll have to read from the PDF copy. If that is comfortable to you, perfectly fine for me. I have absolutely no challenges. But if you're more of the person who needs a book in your hand and you need to prepare from the book, then yes, you would have to separately avail the concept guide. As you come to the class, you can discuss it with me, and I will anyway be carrying the concept guide. I will share it to you then and there itself. Yes, so the concept guide can be taken from me if you want it in physical format. If you want it from a PDF format, perfectly fine, people. I have absolutely no challenges. But yes, the marathons will be discussed from the concept guide, and therefore having that would make it a little more comfortable for you. The moment, like I told you, people, the moment you avail the concept guide, whether it is in a PDF copy or it's in a soft copy, in a hard copy, the cheat sheet will anyway be shared across with you. So the PDF copy of the cheat sheet will be shared across with you. You can take the printout of the cheat sheet and you can avail it for your benefits as well. Yes, that is what is going to happen, people, when it comes to your practice batch, as we call it, the WOW classes. Yes, looking at it itself, I personally feel it's a big wow for me as well, people, because yes, I have never thought about keeping it as low as possible, but all thanks to Karthik Manikonda that he took this initiative to make it as justifiable as possible, people. It was definitely not possible without a support, and I am personally happy to be a part of this initiative because I know all of you have done a really good job. It was just unfortunate reasons which could not get you through. No matter, let's ignore the fact what has happened right now and let's focus on what is coming up. Yes, so May 25 would be the end game for all of us. You will clear, I will also clear it along with you. It's a joint effort which we're going to take together. Yes, so that is what is going to happen in the upcoming classes, people. This is the schedule of what the upcoming classes look like. You have an access to the regular classes if you feel that is more comfortable. You will be given the amendment lectures for the free of charge, and you'll also be given marathons for a free of charge if you just want to watch it from YouTube and complete the syllabus yourself. But if you're looking into a practice batch, you will be given an access to WOW classes in A&M Chennai, which you can avail and enjoy the classes as we speak. Yes, one assurance which I can give from my side, people, no matter what I'm doing, whether it is regular, no matter whether it is fast, the practice batch, or is it marathons or amendments, I have put my life out on this, and I want to ensure that everyone gets through the same practice initiative enthusiasm which I have in the classes. So if you continue with that one small enthusiasm from your side, with the simple intention that you're learning something better, not with the intention that you want to clear May, but with the intention that you're learning something better from Jan exams, then the purpose is solved for both of us. Yes, I know there is a bit of a setback which has happened on your syllabus, which is completely fine. Come with that practice that yes, you're learning something new, you're learning something better, you are going to enhance your knowledge more than anything else, and that initiative will help you do better in your exams as well, people. The stress will not support you so much as the initiative will do. Keep that thought in mind before you come for the classes, and that is what we'll be having a fun time with. If that is understood for all of you, I am closing this session today, people, with that. I would look forward to seeing you all in the practice batch. If you're ever interested, reach out to me if you have any doubts. But other than that, you can avail this and reach out and be in the premises during 18 to 22, and we'll have a fun time together. That is one promise which I can share from my side. That's all for today, people. Have a wonderful journey ahead. All the very best for all the upcoming for your practice of the future, for your initiative which you have taken right now, and for your exams which are coming up in May 2025. Please stay in touch, because I am going to keep updating you for all better things like this, so that you also enjoy what you're doing, I also enjoy what we're doing, and we all clear together and become the CS that you all deserve. That's all from my side, people. Thank you. Have a nice day.